It's time for Hick's 5-Minute Picks. 5 games, 5 predictions, in less than 5 minutes. Week 1 in college football, let's go. Biggest game of the weekend. Number 5 LSU taking on number 8 Florida State Tigers, 2.5-point favorites. LSU wins and covers. Here's why. You know what the F in FSU stands for? Fraudulent. That's right. The Seminoles are getting a lot of love this offseason, and I don't know why. They're getting a lot of praise from how they finished last year, winning 6 games in a row against who? Bad teams. Florida State, to me, looking at them this year, sure, they got talent, but they're a team that can beat the bad teams, can't beat the good teams. Look at who they played last year. Good versus bad. Good, lost, bad, they beat. I know they beat LSU last year, came down to a blocked extra point at LSU's lowest point in the short Brian Kelly era. Now they got a lot of talent. I think Jaden Daniels is going to outplay Jordan Travis. This, to me, is going to be a game where LSU is going to clean Florida State's clock. Tigers cover. Tigers big. On Sunday, send a statement to the rest of college football. They are not to be messed with. And also, really quick side note here. Stop, please, college football. Stop with neutral site games. This is atrocious. This is awful. This game's in Orlando, not in Tallahassee. Last year's in New Orleans, should have been Baton Rouge. Neutral site games are awful for the sport of college football because it takes away the best part of the game. What separates college football from any other sport is the home environment, the student sections, the atmosphere, the true home field advantage that college football has, I think, more than any other sport. You rip that away for these neutral site games that are sterile, that are blah. They ruin the sport. Stop it. I don't know who I got to talk to. It's happening way too much, and this is truly a travesty that this game is being played in Orlando and not in Tallahassee. Stop with the neutral site games. Welcome to my PSA. Game 2, perfectly matched up. Let's go to another neutral site. Another joke. North Carolina, South Carolina. Tar Heels, 2.5-point favorites. Tar Heels win this game. Here's why. The path for South Carolina to win this game would have been physicality. Win the game in the trenches and push the Tar Heels around like a lot of SEC teams do to non-SEC teams. Here's the problem, though. South Carolina can't do that. I got questions about their O-line. I got questions about their defense. Drake May's a better quarterback, got better weapons around him. I think North Carolina, without that physical presence from the Gamecocks, I think we'll win this game here. Close, but UNC does win and does cover. Clemson, on the road, conference opener at Duke Monday night. They are 13-point favorites. Clemson's going to win this game, but Duke's going to cover. Duke is going to make them sweat, and they're going to make them earn it. Look, Mike Elko quietly had a really good year last year in Durham. Tremendous defensive mind. Built that defense from nothing last year. Now at least is able to get a few extra pieces and develop some experience on that defensive side of the football. You got 10 starters back on offense. Riley Leonard, really good quarterback as well for Duke. So even though I love the addition of Garrett Riley for Clemson, I think they're going to put up a lot of points this year. Slow start in Durham, conference opener on the road. 13 points is a lot, even though I think Clemson's offense will eventually kind of hit the ground running with Cade Klubnik and Garrett Riley. Slow start means Clemson wins. Duke, though, does cover at home. Boise State at Washington. I'll tell you this right now. Take the over, folks. It's going to be an explosive game. I think the most exciting offensive game we'll see in the opening weekend. I'm going to say this game is going to be 45-34. 45-34, an offensive explosion led by Michael Penix Jr., who had a tremendous season last year, second most passing yards in all the country. Now does return to what will be maybe not the most talented, I'll give that to Ohio State, but the deepest wide receiver room in all college football Washington does have. So a lot of weapons for Michael Penix Jr. to throw the ball to. I think he'll light up this Boise State secondary, but don't sleep on the Broncos. Taylor Green and co. have some weapons on offense, and he'll put up some points as well. In the end, though, Washington at home does win 45-34. They're favored by 14, so not going to cover, but are going to get the win in a fun, I think, fashion here on Saturday afternoon. And finally, Colorado at TCU. TCU is 20.5-point favorites. Look, Colorado's had a fun offseason, been in the headlines a lot with Deion Sanders. All of the momentum, all of the good vibes, I think you got up to this point, right out the window. Reality is going to set in for Colorado, and I think TCU is going to show them. Even though that they graduated a lot and lost a lot of talent from last year's national title team, I think TCU is going to lay a beat down. They'll cover the 20.5 points, and it's going to be a rough start for Coach Prime. 5 picks, 5 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.